The sun is beginning to set on the farm now, boys and girls, and soon it will be dusk. And I wanted to think again about some creatures that might be crepuscular, meaning they're most active at dawn and at dusk. The word crepuscular is quite a long one, and it's drawn from the Latin word for twilight. The main reason a creature would be crepuscular is because it's trying to avoid predators. Either their predators are just waking up, or they're tired from a night's hunting. So it's nice and safe for them to be out then. We're going to have a think now about some of the creatures that are crepuscular. This is an example of a crepuscular animal, the rabbit. Can you see him jumping about? This is another crepuscular creature, my very beautiful cat, Claudia. Deer are also crepuscular. I filmed these deer at the Red Deer Centre in Dumfries and Galloway 2 years ago, and I wanted to have a think about the red deer. It came from Europe to Great Britain 11,000 years ago. It is Britain's largest land mammal. They have a lifespan of around 18 years. Their diet is grass, young shrubs like heather, tree shoots, and crops. A group of deer is called a herd. A baby deer is called a fawn. A mummy deer is called a doe, and a male is the stag. All British male deer cast their antlers in spring and grow a new set every year. For the first few years, each new set of antlers is bigger with more points or tines. Antlers are made of bone and coated in a thin layer of fuzzy skin or velvet, as well as blood vessels. The velvet supplies oxygen and blood to the antlers as they grow. When they are full size, the velvet begins to come off.
Hi kids, how you doing? I understand Miss Blackie has been showing you a deer's antlers. This might be a good time to show you a tree that grows in the garden at the farm. And this is it here. This is called a staghorn tree. And the reason being is because the little branches on it are all covered in velvet like a deer's new horns. And also it kind of resembles a deer's antlers.
You can really see how similar the branches on the staghorn resemble the antlers on the deer. This is the bark on the staghorn tree, and as you can see, it's clearly covered in what resembles the velvet that I was telling you about that grows on the deer's antlers. As well as the red deer, the other native British deer is the roe deer, which I think we'll explore now. Roe deer particularly like living in woodlands like I've got behind me just now. But equally, they also like wide open fields, like this one behind me now. Bankings, like the one we've got behind me here, make an excellent food source for the roe deer. Let's have a look. The diet of the roe deer include herbs, brambles, ivy, heather, bilberry, and young tree shoots, all of which can be found in this banking here. Roe deer prefer to be solitary animals, living by themselves. However, during the winter, they can group together. In order to blend in with their surroundings and be camouflaged against predators, roe deer tend to be a rusty brown colour during the summer months, and coming into winter, their coat changes to a lighter brown, grey, or even black. When roe deer are alarmed, they bark just like a dog. And when they're running, their little white tails flash as they cross the countryside, and that alerts any deer nearby that there could be danger lurking. I have been lucky enough to capture some of the deer on the farm here with my camera. I'm going to let you have a look now. One good way of telling if deer have been in the area is by looking for their footprints, just like we did yesterday with the badger. So I'm going to show you now what a deer footprint looks like, just in case you spy one when you're out and about. Another sign of deer being nearby is that some of the trunks of the trees have been nibbled, just like this one. Another name for a male deer is a hart, and this fern is called a hart's tongue fern because actually the shape of it looks very like the tongue of a deer. My sister Nicola has come up trumps again with her nighttime camera, and we're going to look now at some of the deer that she took where she lives in England. Let's have a look.